Alright, so I'm going to show how to do numbers 1 and 2 here together. I might split up the videos. We'll see how long it takes. And so I gave out steps in class, of course, of how to do this. But so what we're going to have to do is solve this through substitution. And we know that y equals all of this and y also equals all of that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it so that we have an equation that doesn't have both a y variable and an x variable together. And we can do that through substitution. So if I know that y equals this stuff right here, let me circle it in red. Okay, we know y equals all of that. What I can do is I can take all that stuff and sub it in for y. So now my equation, whenever I write it out, is going to look like this. 2x minus 2, because that went in for y. And let me change my ink color so you can see the two equations merged together, equals negative x plus 1. And now we just have this kind of long equation. This is like something like that, the kids would solve back in 7th grade. And, different teachers have different ways of showing how to do that. I tell them pick a variable side and a number side and get rid of anyone that's on the wrong side. So I'm going to do that. So this is my variable side, so I need this negative 2 to go away, so I'm going to add 2. And I have to add 2 over here on this side. I'm going to rewrite my equation. I have 2x equals negative x plus 3. And this side is my number side that I've designated. So if it's a variable, it needs to go away. So I'm going to add an x here. And I'm going to add an x on this side. And what I'm left with is 3x equals 3. I want the x by itself, so I'm going to divide this side by 3 and divide the right side by 3. And finally, I found out that x equals 1, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So x equals 1. So now I know what x is. I need to find out what y is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1, because I know that's what x is, and I'm going to sub it in for x. And if you're wondering which equation do I have to sub it in for, it doesn't matter. You get to pick. Okay, you're going to get the same answer no matter what. So what I usually do is I just pick whichever equation looks easiest to me. So if you think this looks like an easy equation, you can use that one. Or if you think this is an easy one, you can use that one. I'm going to use the top one because, I don't know, I feel like that it's easy. So I'm going to say, I'm going to rewrite the original equation. Y equals 2x minus 2. Now I'm going to rewrite it, but I'm going to put in 1 in for x, and you can see what it looks like. All right, y equals 2 times, I'm going to do the 1 in the different color so you can notice the difference. 2 times 1 minus 2. See, because x is 1, so I replaced x with 1. So now I'm just going to solve this like normal. We got 2 times 1 is 2, so let me bring down everything else. And 2 minus 2 equals 0, so y equals 0. So what this means, my final answer, my solution to this system of equations is x equals 1 and y equals 0. Now, lots of times whenever you have x and y as answers, math teachers like for you to put them as a coordinate pair like you learned back in 5th and 6th grade. We have x is 1, so my first value is x, and y, which is my second value, is 0. So it looks like that. X is 1, y is 0. So you can expect to see the answer either way. Or you need to expect to give the answer either way. Alright, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is done almost the exact same way. Same process. Okay. I've got y equals 2x plus 2, so I'm going to sub that in for y, all that stuff, because that's what y equals. And I'm going to color code this thing so you can differentiate the two equations. 2x plus 2 equals negative 2x minus 2. Alright, So now I'm just going to solve this like normal. I'm going to pick a variable side and a number side, and it doesn't matter which is which. So I'm going to get rid of this 2 by subtracting 2 from both sides. And now I have 2x equals negative 2x minus 4. I'm going to get rid of this negative 2x by adding 2x. Add 2x over here. And I have 4x equals negative 4. Now I want x by itself, so I divide this side by 4, divide the right side by 4, and we have x equals negative 1. You got to think back to 7th grade. When you're dividing a negative and a positive, you learn that that's going to give you a negative answer. So here we go. I've got x equals 1. So now I get to pick it, either equation, whichever one I feel like is easiest. I'm just going to use this top one. I've got y equals 2x plus 2, and I'm going to sub in this negative 1 in for x. So my equation looks like this. Y equals 2 times, and what I'm going to put in there is negative 1 because that's what x equals. And now I'm just going to solve like a 7th grader would. Y equals 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2, and plus 2. Y equals a negative 2 and a positive 2, that equals 0. So in this case, y equaled 0. So my answer, my solution, is x equals negative 1 and y equals 0. So I'm going to put that in a coordinate pair. Negative 1 and 0, like that.